So I want to address a couple things I've been seeing on comment sections in my videos and other creators' videos about this whole incident at Arlington National Cemetery. First is this idea that the family wanted to be there, as if that changes anything. Including, there was a comment left specifically on one of my videos that said, well, the family wanted to be there, so F the government. Well, first, it doesn't matter that the family wanted Donald Trump to be there. If Donald Trump had showed up, they did the wreath laying, it was a private event, and they did maybe a couple photos that the family took and put on their own wall in their house, then it would have been fine. The fact that he showed up with an entourage to do campaign style photos, and when told those people can't come in, you can't take campaign photos, video, etc., that is illegal. You can't do this. He shoved, I don't know if he specifically, but his entourage shoved past a staffer at Arlington National Cemetery and did it anyway. That is where the criminality is. It's not that the family asked him to be there. Again, if the photos and video were for private use, it would have been fine, but that's not what happened. Now, the other comments. Well, they blame Joe Biden for the service members dying. First of all, yes, they died under Joe Biden's watch. However, Joe Biden was following the plan that was put in place by the agreement Donald Trump put into effect with the Taliban to end the war. Donald Trump went around the standing government of Afghanistan, worked with the Taliban, came to terms for a withdrawal, and set up this treaty. And Joe Biden had to abide by the treaty that was in place. So most of it, even though it happened under Joe Biden's watch, was Donald Trump's fault. Second, as far as where was Joe Biden, why wasn't he there? This wasn't a sponsored event by Arlington National Cemetery. This was a private event sponsored by one of the families. Joe Biden was not invited. Period. That was it. That's why he wasn't there. And as far as, well, why doesn't Joe Biden go to all of these events? If Joe Biden went to a national cemetery on the anniversary of every fallen service member, he would be at a national cemetery every day of the year. Just about. There have been a lot of service members who have died over the years. If he went to every memorial every day of the year, that's where he'd be. He wouldn't be able to get anything else done. But I'm guessing, knowing what we know about Joe Biden, if he had been invited, he probably would have attended. But you also have to look at the fact that Donald Trump didn't go last year or the year before or even the year it happened. He didn't show up at their gravesite services and say any condolences then. He's doing it now because it is a campaign year, it's an election year, and he did it for a photo op. Those of us who aren't in his cult, we see this. We know what he's doing, and he's not sincere in his condolences or anything. If he was, he wouldn't have given the weird thumbs up and stood there with a Cheshire grin on his face, mugging for the camera. He would have been solemn. They wouldn't have done the photo op. Maybe he would have shown up for just the family, but there wouldn't have been a big release about it, and it would have been over and done with. So when you see people in their comment sections and stuff saying this stuff, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're just trying to grasp at anything, as I say a lot of the time, to dig up some sort of shade to throw at Joe Biden and by extension also Kamala Harris.